Ahead on Daytime Buffalo, we talk to Volunteer of the Year for Hire Heroes USA about his past and present service to our country and community's veterans. And we take a look at the recent high notes in the music industry with radio personality Adri V. It's all coming up right now on Daytime Buffalo. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. Well, it's that time of year again when we honor those who have dedicated their lives to ensuring our safety. Joining me now is someone who has been recently nationally recognized for doing just that. Welcome, Phil Stitzinger. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Can you tell us about your relationship with the military, both past and present?
Sure, absolutely. Again, thank you for having me here. And just first and foremost, this Memorial Day weekend, I just want to recognize those who have served our nation and didn't get to come home, as well as their Gold Star families. I've had the privilege of serving this nation for 24 years in the Coast Guard Reserve, as well as 14 years as a civilian with the Army Corps of Engineers.
Wow, okay. Now, you currently volunteer with the Hire Heroes USA, so tell us about the work that you do with them.
As a volunteer with Hire Heroes USA, I have the opportunity to just speak with our service members, our veterans, even our military spouses, as they try to transition from their military careers to a civilian career. They try to find their skill sets and their talents and abilities and network that into a civilian capacity. And I have the opportunity to provide resume reviews, mock interviews, and just chat with them about how to make that transition.
Definitely. That can be a little bit of a scary time, a lot of anxiety transitioning into, real world, so to speak. Now, how did you learn about Hire Heroes USA and what motivated you to start volunteering with them?
Yeah. So I've always wanted to serve in a voluntary capacity. I just always had that need. It was actually during COVID a few years ago when we were all shut down and it was hard to get out to the community to provide voluntary service, community service. But just through an online search, I was able to find Hire Heroes USA, and it stuck with me because I was able to relate to the plight of our service members and veterans who want to make that transition from military to civilian.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's been the most rewarding part for you about giving back to those veterans?
Really, it's when I see them get that job that they wanted, that dream job. I stay in touch with a lot of my clients, through emails and phone calls. There was one success story, one of the first ones, where I had a scheduled mock interview with one of my clients. He was very nervous. We ended up not doing the mock interview as scheduled, but we just kind of talked through some things, talked through, how to apply for jobs, how to set up a resume. And the same thing with our second call, our third call, we still didn't get to that mock interview that was initially planned. By our fourth phone call, he was comfortable enough to have an actual mock interview with me. He did very well, and a couple weeks later he called me and said, "Hey Phil, I got the job." And it was just so rewarding to get that phone call and to talk with him. And he's now a mechanical engineer for a very prominent corporation.
Wow. Incredible work. Now, you were recently honored, like we said, at the Hire Heroes USA Gala by being awarded the Volunteer of the Year award. That's what you brought in for us today. So how did it feel for you to receive that and, be honored for what you're doing?
Yeah, I was very overwhelmed. It came as a complete surprise. I wasn't even aware that this award existed, but just got the phone call one day, and it was a thrill to see these efforts, come to fruition and to be recognized in this capacity. Very humbled, very honored.
Tell us about where the gala was and how it went. Did you bring family?
I did, yeah. My wife and I went to Atlanta to celebrate this occasion. I had the chance to meet other volunteers, to meet other clients, military spouses and service members who have all been recognized by Hire Heroes USA for the impact that they've had on the communities.
Nice, nice. All right, what advice do you have for veterans who are having a hard time finding work?
I say just keep the faith. You're not alone. It's a struggle that many volunteers see, as they work with veterans and service members and even military spouses. Just stay the course. If you can, reach out to Hire Heroes USA. There are more than 1,400 volunteers on hand to help you get through that transition process, from building a resume to having a mock interview, or to just having that counseled service, that free service that is provided by Hire Heroes USA.
What do you think is the biggest barrier that our veterans are facing when it's time for them to reintegrate into the civilian world?
A lot of them, by no fault of their own, they sell themselves short. You know, I've worked with a number of clients who say, well, I know how to shoot a rifle, but how does that transition into the civilian world? And that's, don't sell yourself short. You know, appreciate that you have managed people, that you have managed resources, that you have worked in very stressful situations around the clock, that you have dedicated yourself to a cause greater than yourself. So I say to our veterans, our service members, and even employers that look at these soft skill sets that you bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. I think that goes for a lot of people. When I think of our military personnel, I think of dedicated people, extremely disciplined. To me, it's a no-brainer that they would be great for the workforce. So it's great that you take the time to point out those strengths.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
And are you guys always looking for volunteers to continue to work with Hire Heroes USA?
Absolutely. At Hire Heroes USA, there's always a need for more volunteers, for people who can spend that time with service members, veterans, military spouses. We're now 20 plus years beyond 9/11 when there was a surge in forces. So now a lot of those service members and veterans have finished their military careers and they want to be able to move on. So there's always a need to provide that support.
Alrighty, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations again on your award. Viewers, if you would like to get involved with Hire Heroes and give back to the members of our community who have given so much to us, you can visit their website, hireheroesusa.org. Thanks again for coming in, Phil.
Thank you.